Hello, and let's take a look at the second paragraph of our reading about Leonidas and the Spartan 300 at Thermopylae. Before we get started formally sort of parsing or schematizing the sentence, I think it'd be a good thing to divide the paragraph into clauses, remembering that a clause, at minimum, contains a subject and a verb. Given that, let's see where we find clauses in this paragraph. The first sentence, as we'll see, contains three clauses, beginning with hoi men barbaroi pros ebalan. That's clause 1. Hoi de strati, ate emakanto pros polemius polaplasius ontas, a second clause. And then the final clause being kai pleistos de apektenan. So we have a sentence that contains three clauses. At this point, we can go back and translate each one of them individually. What we see is hoi men barbaroi, the barbarians. What did they do? They attacked. The Spartan soldiers, on the other hand, fought. Who did they fight? Against the enemy. Pros polemius polaplasius ontas, being many times greater their number. A good way to translate that would be the Spartan soldiers fought against the enemy that far outnumbered them. And then we have our coordinating conjunction. And what did they do? They apoktenod. They killed very many. Now we move to our second sentence. Ton de Helenon aloi poloi epeson, kai atos ho Leonidas, aner aristos genomenos. So we have a clause that has essentially a sentence that has essentially two clauses. From ton de Helenon aloi poloi epeson, then our and then our coordinating conjunction, and atos ho Leonidas, aner aristos genomenos. So what we have here is, in the sentence, many others of the Hellenes in the genitive here, aloi te pauloi. Many others, what did they do? They piptoed, they fell, and hotos ho Leonides, Leonidas himself, and we have to understand epeson, fell. And we then have this a positive further describing Leonidas. He was having been the best man. Our next sentence, telos hoi persai hoi dia tus horus del fontes para genanta. So what we find is that adverbially, finally, the Persians. What's going on here? Finally, the Persians, the ones having come through the mountains, were present. So finally, the Persians who had come through the mountains arrived. And our coordinating conjunction, from the rear, they attacked. And then the Spartan soldiers on Ekkorun, they withdrew, or they went to the narrow part of the road. And there they fought until everyone or all fell. So that's a fairly straightforward paragraph. What we read is, so the barbarians attacked, and the Spartan soldiers fought against the enemy, being many times their number, and they killed quite a few. Some of the Greeks, and many of them, in fact, fell, including Leonidas himself, who was the best man. At last the Persians, the one who came through the mountains, arrived, and they attacked from the rear. Then the Spartan soldiers withdrew, or simply went, to the narrow part of the road, and there they fought until all fell. till everyone died. I hope that helps. We'll talk about it in more detail in class tomorrow. Thanks for listening.